All right, what's up, y'all? It is Kevin Anytime, and we got Zach here from the Mindset Matters channel. And this is where we talk about different mindset topics. So if you are interested in mindset, y'all, you need to go ahead and like and subscribe. And then if you find value from this, make sure you share this with somebody. All right. Today's topic, we are going to talk about loneliness. All right. So we want to thank you guys for coming to our first episode. Thank you, Zach, for being such a great sport and being my co-host with me, man. But yeah, we want to talk about loneliness today and what that's all about. So we're gonna cover three different topics surrounding loneliness, right? The first one is what makes you feel lonely. The second one is it good to be lonely? And then the third one is how to be comfortable with it. All right, so let's start with the first one. What makes you feel lonely? And I'm gonna go ahead and pass this to you, Zach. What makes you feel lonely, man?
Yeah. So just a couple things like this time of year, we're in December. It's Middle Tennessee. So the weather, first off, it gets dark earlier. So I can't do things that I enjoy doing, like getting outside. That's one of my favorite things to do. So, it's kind of you've heard of seasonal depression. So it's a little bit of that. Something else is when I don't get enough time hanging out with people. I'm a pretty social person. And so, that's a big part of what makes me feel, good. So making sure that I'm interacting with family, friends, my wife, all those things are important to me. What about you, Kev?
Yeah, man. It's definitely all those same things. I'm a very social person. Sometimes I can be not too social, but for the most part, I like being around people, man. But one thing that I was gonna say too is sometimes I feel lonely being in a group of people, right? Because I was just staying with my mom and my ex, and that kind of was lonely simply because we didn't share the same mindset per se, right? I'm going in the trajectory of like trying to build and doing these different things that are outside the norm of what everybody else is doing. So uh, sometimes being around people that you aren't in alignment with or that don't have the same goals and aspirations that you have, that can make you feel lonely too. So that kind of was what I was thinking about as far as loneliness is considered. But yeah, man, it's interesting when you think about loneliness and what it's all about. But yeah, man. Well, let's see here. So let's figure out. Oh, actually, what I want to tell y'all is to comment what makes you feel lonely, because these are just from our perspectives. What makes you feel lonely though? So let us know, because we would like to know that. So go ahead and comment below and give us some different things of what makes you feel lonely. But outside of that, is it even good? Is it even good to be lonely sometimes? What you think, Zach? Is it good?
I do. I do think there are times where we should be alone. I think we can do like some deep self reflection. Um, you know, it's kind of like resetting our batteries at times, to get away from the world and just kind of like, um, be by yourself. And that maybe you're religious, or maybe you just need time to just chill out. Maybe you've had some high stress at your job, or maybe some family issues. And I think it's beneficial for you to just take time to yourself. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that like 100%. Especially having kids, man. It's like you are not ever you will never be alone when you
Yeah.
got kids in the house, man. They will want to be attached to you all day, every day. Sometimes that could be in relationships too, right? But for the most part, I think it's absolutely necessary. Like this time right now where I don't have my kids, is incredibly important for me to be able to like reset, gather my thoughts and stuff like that. But what we did is checked out a couple things on the internet here, Google search, right? And I found this website, The Power of Positivity. And what's interesting is they have some things to chime in about if it's good to be alone or not, too. And what they did is they put together a list of 9 things, being 9 reasons why being alone is good for you. So I'm gonna just run past the titles of these. They do have a few descriptions. I might chime in on a few of them. But yeah, well, I'll just go ahead and list a few of these off here. So number one, it clears the mind, which is just what I was talking about, right? Two, it fosters creativity. Three, it builds confidence. Four, it encourages independence. Five, it clarifies perceptions. Six, it diminishes stress and anxiety. Now that actually might be a question for somebody like, wait, how does it do that? So stress and anxiety occur because of outside expectations. The importance of those expectations become less urgent if we can put some perspective on them, which happens when we spend time alone. So that's good explanation of that. Seven is it establishes priorities. Eight, it boosts productivity. Nine, it strengthens relationships. And then that's something else I wanted to read off what this description is, because it's like, wait, how you alone? So how is it strengthening a relationship, right? It says, believe it or not, spending time alone supports and strengthens the relationships with the people that matter most to us. When we have the time to understand and value ourselves, we can better understand and respect others. Man, yeah, so I thought that was good. Did you have any comments on any of these, bro?
I mean, I mean, some of them are maybe a little bit new to me, but I mean, they hit the nail on the head. So, yeah, I mean, I think that we should all look to maybe spend some more time being alone if we aren't people that do that already.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's like again, so I'm a single dad, right?
Right.
Recently divorced from a relationship, and so I live by myself and I have my kids bi-weekly. And so this time where the kids are not here, again, for me, is absolutely critical because especially with trying to build everything that I'm doing, if I don't have that time to just be able to sit with my own thoughts and there's not, hey, I'm hungry, or well, the baby's crying, or, my son's like, hey, dad, dad, dad. He does that a lot where he's like trying to get my attention to tell me something. He'll tell me something, and I'm like, okay, that wasn't that important, but okay, like I'm trying to give him the attention he needs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So your brain is like, especially, and I'm like trying to read up on stuff and do extra stuff for the business. It's like my brain is everywhere. It's
Right.
total spaghetti mind, man. So it, for me, it's absolutely critical to be able to be alone sometimes and to have that space of just there's no outside conversation. There's
Yeah.
nothing else besides my own thoughts. Now, some people that might be see a little scary. That might be a little scary for some people, but um, I really want to encourage people to get more comfortable with it. Yeah, I got a question for you, dude. This is a
Yeah.
good one because it just made me think about it.
Okay.
In the past, I was totally opposed to either going to the movies or to a restaurant or anything by myself. Have you ever done that or anything?
Man, that is not something that I don't know if I've ever done that, to be honest with you.
Dude, it's a tripped out thing, bro. Like
Yeah.
I just recently did it not too long ago, like maybe some years ago.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a different experience, man. It's a really different experience, dude. You should try it, dude. Because I believe back in the past, somebody I was talking to told me that, and they were like, "What? You haven't ever tried it?" And I was like, "No, man, that's weird, isn't it?" And but when I thought about it, I was like, well, no, sometimes you see people there and they're just there doing their thing. Like
That's
that's
true. Yeah.
you have your little spot, like my coffee spot where I go and I go chill out. And I have a spot, the work spot, my second office that I'll be calling. The I go usually on Wednesdays to this place in Tempe, and that's my spot. Like I go there, I order some stuff. The bartender kind of know me, you know, give me the drink that I order, usually non-alcoholic, but I go there, and it's like it's just I get to just be there and kind of be me.
Yeah.
You know, and but not a lot of people be there either, so it's kind of a
I,
low key spot for me. But it gives me a feeling of I'm not in this box all day, right? Like I'm
right.
stuck in here. This is my workspace. I gotta be in here. It gives me a little bit of feeling of freedom and kind of mix up my routine a little bit. So that's kind of why I like it. But
Right.
yeah, man. Yeah. What do you think is the what do you think is it that made you not want to, or that that you've never tried it?
Um, Man, I'll just be honest. I'm very extroverted. So
Really?
oh yeah. Um,
Oh
like
man. Okay.
I'm like pretty reserved most of the time, but man, meeting somebody new, like I have no fear in that at all. Like, uh,
Oh,
I'll talk to anybody. So I think I like that uh, community aspect. Um, I just like learning about other people. The current job that I do, I'm a health coach. So, like, actually be getting curious about people, learning who they are, their goals, their strengths, their values, like that's just something that um, typically is a big factor in me talking to others. So that brings me back to why haven't I done that? It's because I'm probably always with someone else. Um, and so I've never really even thought about doing it.
got you. Okay. Man, that's interesting, dude. That's really interesting, man. Because I'm naturally introverted. Like I naturally don't because I like to observe things so much. So I'm like, I usually don't say anything unless I'm like really approached with conversation or something like that. So
Gotcha.
um yeah, I'm not extroverted at all. I can be. I can pull that out of me to where I get real talkative. And it probably seemed like that because I'm on here all the time. But for the most part, I get into new spaces and stuff. I'm just like, just really quiet, just like looking at everything, just trying to absorb the non-verbal information that's happening, right? But
Right.
yeah, that's interesting, man. All right. Well, what do you guys think? Is it good to be lonely? Please comment below. Let us know. Is it good to be lonely? After everything we've said, do you feel like it's good to be lonely? Let us know. Shoot us a comment down below here. All right. But the last thing we want to talk about is how to be comfortable with it, right? How do you be comfortable with loneliness if you're not right now? Well, the same website, again, powerofpositivity.com, they have 7 different ways that you can be comfortable with it. Okay. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that. So here's 7 activities for your time of being alone that you can do. And the first one, I'll just take that, is meditation. And you know what? Let me look at what their little description is. It says meditation creates a pathway from the little self to the infinite where you can honestly know yourself. Various cultures and religions have practiced meditation for millennia to realize their true nature. Although the ultimate goal of meditation is enlightenment or freedom from the cycle of birth and death, you can also enjoy other benefits. And I can definitely attest to that because I feel like meditation helped me so much with really getting in tune with who I was and tuning into myself. Um, I think that's what it really was. And yeah, you got to be alone for that. Like you can be in meditation groups and stuff like that, but nothing's ever really as self actualization or self realizing as like especially in darkness. I did mine in darkness and isolated. And it's like it's just you got to get comfortable with the weird sounds. You got to get comfortable with the feeling of, something's going to happen, like everything. And I went through that process at first. It was really interesting because I found myself being a little scared of just random stuff like is somebody in the house or what was that sound or it's weird. And then I'm like, dude, no, wait a minute. It like it gave me a whole newfound confidence too, because it's like, no, calm down. The door is locked. Nobody's in here. Like, chill
Right.
out. I had to talk to myself like a kid. Like, dude, calm down. Nothing's gonna happen here. So just be in this space by yourself. And then that I feel began my transcendence to a whole new person because whoever does that, like whoever goes into that type of space. But yeah, man. Interesting. What you think? What you think? How have you benefited from meditation? Or have you meditated? Well, I'm sure you have because you've been in the
Oh
institute,
yeah.
but
Meditation is a big one for me. And I tell people all the time, like, some of the people that like are clients for where I work now, like, even if you have 3 minutes, just to kind of sit down, center yourself, just to like, okay, it's gonna kind of like almost like talk yourself down. Especially like if work's crazy, in your case, like if your kids are, maybe driving you nuts a little bit. And I know people relate to that because I've heard it a ton.
yeah.
So, it's just something to just kind of like, bring you back to center, kind of have that short time to just like, it's almost like having peace of mind, just in the moment. And then, okay, I know that this is just something that's short lived and we're going to move past it. So I mean, I love meditating. And I think the more advanced you get with it, the more you need it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And actually, I'll just read off these before you read this second one.
Yeah.
Um, it says just a few reasons to meditate include lowering heart rate and blood pressure, reducing stress, anxiety, and depression, fostering patience and kindness. Ooh, the patience one, yeah, that's key for me.
Yes.
Being mindful, that's another key one for me. Eliminating negative emotions, gaining insight and perspective on your life, enhancing love and compassion for yourself and others, and wow, I didn't know this, improving your sleep quality. How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Zach gonna piggyback off of this one. So Zach, go ahead and go for the second one.
Yeah. The second one is walking, specifically in nature. Um, it was kind of funny when we were reading this article before this, like the points, the bullet points kind of lined up with what we already practiced, Kevin and I. So this is something that I do every day. Um, and just like I don't, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast, but as of late, as of the past month or two, just going with no music, no podcast, just again, going back to kind of that time I'm alone. Sometimes I'll pray. And I think that is just, everybody's different. It's like there's a, Joe Dispenza has something called a walking meditation. It's almost like that, just kind of in your own way. And I think just getting outside, especially right now, I know some people don't like the cold, but like the cold is just like, it almost wakes you up. It feels like your endorphins are just like, I don't know how to say it, like surplus. They're like, you feel like Goku or something. But just walking around, even if it's 10, 15 minutes, I think it's super important. And there's hormones, endorphins again, that your brain's releasing. So, man, I don't know what I'd do without walking. That's something I'm massively grateful for.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. All right. Well, let's see. The third one is it helps you harness your creativity. Yeah, if man, I mean, when I'm alone, what's interesting is a lot of the especially 5 6 years ago, a lot
Mhm.
of the really deep creative videos that I've ever made was in isolation. It was totally being by myself and having that time to fully immerse myself in the thing, in whatever it was, in that little creation. And I think it's super important to be alone for that, because
Yeah.
having some distractions, whether it be the TV or kids or anything else, it it's just that little bit of your attention away from the specific thing that you're trying to make or you're trying to create.
Yeah.
I think it's the loneliness for that aspect is super important for that, man. Because that's anytime I really can get good at some editing or making some good edits, I'm totally by myself for sure.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Let's see, number 4, being alone offer time. Oh, that's you. Time to
Yeah.
reflect.
You're good, man. Yeah. Time to reflect. And honestly, I think you can almost pair meditation and time to reflect. Now, meditation, oftentimes you're just really focusing on your breath, anchoring to that, and you don't really want to think too much. Um, but time to reflect, in the same way, sitting by yourself, thinking about, maybe you focus on the good in your life. Maybe it's gratitude. Maybe some things that you'd like to improve, and you're not super proud of yourself, but you know that you're growing. So time to reflect. I think whether you, which is what I do every day, I journal every day, or just having some time. I've talked to people in the past that'll like. Uh, when they're about to go to sleep, they'll kind of reflect on the day. And then maybe they'll write out what they want their next day to look like. What about you, Kev? What do you think about reflecting, daily?
Yeah, that's man, because that's what we're gonna segue into, y'all. After we get done with the rest of the list here, is that's what I feel is incredibly important as part of the program, is to look back on what you did, because it's so easy to forget. I'm a strong proponent of like really good basic foundational systems. And when I say basic, it is as such things as just recapping what you did for the day. Did I get all my tasks done? What type of day did I have? What went wrong? What went right? How can I be better the next day? Type of stuff is just incredibly important. And then just being honest with it, putting it out there, and just recognizing that that's what it was. And what we've noticed is that what happens is you start to see, you know, if you have a string of, okay, this is a terrible week or this is a great week, but for the most part, we all pretty much live pretty good lives, and you can't really tell that because we can dive so far into negative stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
um it's a really good practice to just at the end of the day be like, okay, so what happened, man? Like, what really happened? And plus, because our memory, our attention span, and all of that stuff, it's like, for me, I don't want to say this, but it was like I was saying my memory as wasn't as good as I want it to be, right? I'm making it better. And so for me, that helped me to know what was going on a day-to-day basis, because
Right.
I have so much stuff that I'm doing that it was just hard for me to keep track of everything. So that can help you to just hone in on any of that stuff. And I think it's super beneficial to remember that, because then you will see, oh no, today actually was a good day. And it might change your perspective sometimes. But yeah, yeah, that's definitely what I saw. The next one is practicing self-care. And yeah, like one of these, I'm gonna just read off the list. Some other ideas for self-care include aromatherapy, regular exercise, which y'all look at my IG, is basketball all day, or even working out sometimes. At home spa days, which I took a bath just the other week, which is interesting because I was like, I'm gonna take a bath. I got a nice bathtub now with this new house, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a bath, man. It was really, really good. But the one that I was laughing to myself about was this one, was taking a nap. That's that's self care, man. That
Yeah.
is self care. Sometimes you just have to freaking you gotta hit the reset in the middle of the day, man. Just take a nap. But making a healthy meal, breathing exercises, practicing gratitude, walking in nature, journaling, and yoga. But yeah, these are just some of the ideas. You know what? And if you guys have some more ideas of self care, comment below. Write down some things that we could do, or some things that you may do that you think nobody else does, and comment what some self care activities are. But yeah, go ahead. Let's go to the next one.
Oh yeah, and I mean, they could have included this. Well, I know for some people, anyways, for a practice of self care. But the next one that I'm going into is cooking a delicious meal. Um, Man, me and my wife just, I think we're both good cooks, first off, so that's helpful. But I just love to cook. It's like, seriously, it's therapeutic for me to get in the kitchen, chop up some vegetables. I'm like I like, my wife always makes me cut the onions because, people cry when they cut onions. So, like, it just doesn't bother me. And I worked in kitchens, when I was like coming through college. So it was like, it's something that it's like it is a self care practice, but it's just something that I'm in the flow in. So if you can cook or you want to learn how to cook, I think that's a great way to give back to yourself too.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I cannot cook at all, but I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Anytime I am trying to do work into that science, man, it's like a therapeutic process. You kind
Yeah.
of just, and then the smells, it does. It's like it blends all that stuff that I had mentioned, like aromatherapy and all that stuff, because you start smelling good food, you start feeling a type of way. You know what I mean? It's different, man. It is. It's a different way uh of thinking here. But then the last one is read your favorite book. And I'm gonna say something to this, even if it's not your favorite. Um, Reading a book, period, is just good, I think. It was something that my guy Nick said one day. He was like, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I do have one book that I chime in on every so often. But it's something about the reading and the words. You know what I mean? Because it's like we know when we write things down, there's like a brain physical connection, right? A mind body connection. But I think that that's also created when reading, man. When you really get down and read something, I
Yeah.
think there's a connection there that there's something that happens that's really important. So even if it's a self-help book or something like that, you don't
Yeah.
have to necessarily be ready to go for uh the practices that they may have in there, but you could just be reading it to get the information and to kind of just passively absorb the information, and
Right.
that can definitely be good for you when you're in that alone time, when there's no distraction and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that's why they tell you to be quiet at libraries, because it's like you want to have a sense of aloneness when you're reading. It's like you don't want a whole bunch of riffraff or a lot of stuff going on in the background, because then that takes away from what you're trying to do. But
Good point. Yeah.
yeah. um, yeah, this is good, man. This was good stuff, y'all. So I really hope you guys really appreciated this. If you guys aren't comfortable with being lonely, just comment why, man. We really want to know. We thought about this topic because it was something that was top of mind. But let us know what if you feel that these things that we mentioned will make you feel comfortable now with being lonely, or even what I talked about before, like going to places alone, which is interesting. That's a whole different interesting topic we can dive into. But that's pretty much I got. That's all we got right now. You got any words of wisdom or anything you want to say, based off of everything, Zach? Or
No, I think this is an important topic, especially kind of piggybacking off of your live the other day. just talking about people that are really struggling with loneliness. Suicide is going up, and we would really want to
Yeah.
just reach out to people that are going through tough times, because a lot of people are right now. And just know that we're here for you. This, I think, part of just improving yourself. When you improve yourself, you tend to improve the life of others, because when you take care of yourself, you take care of others. There's a saying that I heard, and I can't remember who said it, but self love and self care is not selfish. And I think we need to, you know, even specifically with this topic, loneliness and how to get comfortable in it, doing things by yourself. I think that can really help you just internally, even when things are crazy around you, just being, content and grateful for what you have at this time. So, really appreciate you guys listening. Um, Kevin, I'll let you close it out.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So again, I'm Kevin. Anytime. This is Zach, y'all. Always, always, always remember that mindset matters more than anything else. Okay, so if you enjoy mindset topics, again, like and subscribe to this channel. Okay, and then share it if you found value from it. Really important. Share this video with somebody that might be struggling with this, or if you just want to share the information. All right. Let's always try to focus on the good, because the negative is always there. All right, so let's focus on the good, and we will see you guys next time. Anytime. And Zach.